Hey Shark fans, it's Melinda Marsalis. Welcome to Heard It on the Shark. I'll be your show host, and Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area is your show sponsor. Heard It on the Shark is a weekly interview show that airs every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on the Shark 102.3 FM radio station based in Ripley, Mississippi. Then it's released as a podcast on all the major podcast platforms. You'll hear interviews with the movers and shakers in North Mississippi who are making things happen. I'll talk to entrepreneurs, leaders of business, medicine, education, and the people behind all the amazing things happening in North Mississippi. When people ask you, how did you know about that? You'll say, I heard it on the Shark. Heard It on the Shark is brought to you by the Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area. We want you to get out and discover the historic, cultural, natural, scenic, and recreational treasures of the Mississippi Hills that are right in your backyard. And of course, we want you to take the Shark 102.3 FM along for the ride. Musical credit belongs to Hill Country Blues guitar legend Gary Burnside and the late great Buddy Grisham, playing Long Way Home from their album Acoustic Brothers, which was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
This program was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
The Northeast Mississippi Youth Foundation was established in 2001 by the Create Foundation to engage young people in community development. We now have about 70 upperclassmen from 17 counties in Northeast Mississippi. In the fall, we focused on developing leadership and fundraising skills. We then identified nonprofits in all of our home counties. Lastly, we decided how to distribute the funds we had raised and hosted a press conference to present the funds to these great organizations. In this Northeast Mississippi Youth Foundation series, you will learn about some of the great work being done by local nonprofits. Let's get started. Hey there, Shark fans. This is Olivia. I'm a senior at West Union Attendance Center in Union County, and I'm a member of the Northeast Mississippi Youth Foundation. Today, we're going to speak with Ms. Stewart McMillan, who is the director for the Northeast Mississippi Youth Foundation. So, Ms. Stewart, can you please explain to everyone listening what the Northeast Mississippi Youth Foundation is and what it does?
Thank you for having me today, Olivia. It's always a pleasure to be with my Youth Foundation members, and I'm very grateful that you served as our assistant chair last year, so I feel right at home. Our Northeast Mississippi Youth Foundation was founded in 2001, and at its core, we strive to develop our future leaders and philanthropists. Specifically, we work with high school juniors and seniors across high schools in all 17 counties that the Create Foundation serves. And I'm really grateful and proud to be serving in this role and to have the opportunity to work with such a wide range of students as they work to develop their leadership skills and really identify ways to give back in their local communities.
I have loved being a member this year. I'm so excited for my senior year coming up. So back in April, we gave out grants to 14 nonprofits across Northeast Mississippi. Can you please tell more about the grant giving process?
Definitely. So one of the things that I appreciate about the Youth Foundation is it is truly a student-driven organization. So each of the board members across the counties in Northeast Mississippi has the opportunity to look for nonprofits that are meeting the needs in their specific county. And we do have some focus areas, so we really want our Youth Foundation members to be thinking about ways that we can support education, that we can support youth, that we can support special needs and human services, and the arts. So the board members have the opportunity to share at a board meeting in February with their county members, hey, these are nonprofits doing great work addressing these needs. They're ones that I think we should consider. And then actually in our March board meeting, those counties present and we officially confirm that grant funding amount and those nonprofits. And you're exactly right. Last year we gave grants to 14 nonprofits all across Northeast Mississippi, from organizations like the Regional Rehabilitation Center that supports counties all across Northeast Mississippi and into Tennessee and Alabama, to organizations that support in a very specific county focus. So organizations like the Lighthouse Foundation in Alcorn County or Crossroads Ranch in Itawamba County.
Right. I'm telling you, last year was phenomenal. We raised an incredible amount of money, I do have to say. So for the juniors and seniors that are listening that would like to become a part of the Northeast Mississippi Youth Foundation, how should they go about that?
Great question. I'd be remiss if I didn't say major shout out. I should have already said last year's cohort raised the largest amount of money ever in the Youth Foundation history with $11,358, which is huge. So I'm so grateful for that and grateful that last year we had the largest group ever of board members. But for students who are listening who are interested in the future, we open the application process in February every year, and there is a form that has to be filled out, and all of those nominees have to get 2 people to recommend them, and that could be a current board member, a counselor, a coach, a teacher, a youth director, commission member, or board member from our CREATE team. So there really aren't stipulations around who can nominate and give those recommendations. But those students are then reviewed, and we have that process to select board members. I'll be fully transparent. We have some years where all students get in, and then we have years like this year where we received 125 nominations this year. Historically have had a group in the range of 60 to 70 students. We're going to have probably right around 80 students this year as the largest group ever, but definitely grateful for each and every student who's applied for this opportunity.
If anyone wishes to give a donation, how should they go about that? Is there a website or a Facebook page?
That's also a great question. So our board members solicit donations from individuals and companies, and you can actually easily go online to our CREATE Foundation website and to make a donation, and you can make a donation directly to the Northeast Mississippi Youth Foundation that way. And that's something that we like to give credit to each of the counties and board members. So if you know someone who's in the organization, you can actually put a note to say, oh, hey, I know Olivia Cross in Union County would love to make a donation on her behalf. And that's something that we use to look at how the counties are fundraising and leveraging that support. But we always take donations for the Youth Foundation, and we're really grateful, especially based on that work last year with that over $11,000 raised, that the current endowment fund level for that Northeast Mississippi Youth Foundation is sitting at a little bit over $215,000, which is huge.
That's incredible. I really do love that. So is there anything else that we should know about the Northeast Mississippi Youth Foundation?
Well, honestly, I feel like, Olivia, I should turn the question back to you. I'd love to know what was something that surprised you this last year, either as an officer or a member of the group. What's something that you think we haven't talked about today that's been a key takeaway for you in this Youth Foundation work?
Well, I do have to say that as a member, my ability to network has really grown through this program because there's so many people that I would not know otherwise if it weren't for being a member. Like, I've made so many friends just in our group discussion and the leadership skills that we learn. I really have bettered myself and my communication skills with public speaking. Honestly, I really do love it. This is something I recommend to anyone because I didn't know what this was before I was a member. I had recommendations from a previous member that went to my school, and she was like, Olivia, you're gonna love it, because she knew how outgoing I was, and she knew I loved to speak and talk to everybody. And this year I really did get that experience, and I love it. I really do. Anybody that asks me about it, I'm so willing to speak on it. I have nothing but good words to say about it. I mean, I really do. That's honestly my favorite part about it. And everybody's there because they serve the purpose of wanting to better the world and just connect with everybody. Nobody there is gonna say anything bad about you, I promise. Everybody's just there to make friends, and I love that. I really do.
Well, I really appreciate that. That's one of my goals as the leader of the Youth Foundation, is the power of networking both in high school and beyond is something you really can't put a dollar figure on the benefit of. And I think that's something I had the pleasure of actually being in the Youth Foundation as a board member back in the day. And I still have relationships and friends from that experience that I would not have met otherwise. I think that's something that is really critical to take into post-secondary opportunities and the workforce, et cetera. And that's something, this is also, it's a nice charge for me, because I hope that the Youth Foundation is constantly evolving, that we are finding ways to increase the benefit to the board members and students. And that's something, last year we had our State of the Region meeting, and we invited our officers and some of our board members to participate. So that was really something special to have you and some of the other officers to attend and to network with leaders and with philanthropists and with business community members from across our 17 counties. So I hope that we can continue to do those things, to find more ways for our current high school students to network, to have authentic learning experiences, to hear from speakers from across our region, and to really find ways to better develop you. Because at the end of the day, each of you as high school juniors and seniors, you are our future. You're our future leaders in business, in nonprofits, in our community, in our specific cities. And we're really grateful to have this Youth Foundation to serve as a piece of that puzzle of developing those leaders and philanthropists.
Right. And you were mentioning how you were a member. I was going to ask you, how did you become affiliated with the Northeast Mississippi Youth Foundation?
Oh, that's a great question. So I was a Youth Foundation member back in 2005 to 2007, and I actually had the pleasure, I knew some of the CREATE team at that time. So our current president, Mike Claiborne, and Juanita Floyd over finance, both of them were good family friends. So I had the pleasure of being nominated and serving actually with both of their children. So it was really a pleasure to see those relationships that I had back in the day, and now I have in a working relationship. So I really value CREATE as a organization, because when I started working here in 2020, it truly felt like coming home. And that's something I never take for granted. And I hope that we can have that sense of family and comfort and safety and relationships in the Youth Foundation like what we have at our CREATE team.
Thank you so much, Ms. Stewart.
Very grateful for you, Olivia. Very grateful for all of the officers and for all of the board. And I'm really excited about the upcoming year and seeing what can come of this cohort and crushing some fundraising goals and supporting more nonprofits across our region.
All right, Shark fans, that's all for this special edition of Heard It on the Shark. I'm your guest show host, Olivia Cross. If you want access to this or any of our interviews, you can find them at shark1023.com. If you would like to contribute to the Northeast Mississippi Youth Foundation, you can go to createfoundation.com and search for Youth Foundation.
The Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area was established by the United States Congress in 2009 and represents a distinctive cultural landscape shaped by the dynamic intersection of Appalachian and Delta cultures. This intersection has produced a powerful concentration of nationally significant cultural icons, including King of Rock and Roll Elvis Presley, First Lady of Country Music Tammy Wynette, blues legend Howlin Wolf, civil rights icons Ida B. Wells-Barnett and James Meredith, America's favorite playwright Tennessee Williams, and Nobel-Laureate William Faulkner. The stories of the Mississippi Hills are many and powerful, from music and literature to Native American and African American heritage to the Civil War. The Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area supports the local institutions that preserve and share Northeast Mississippi's rich heritage. Begin your discovery of the historic, cultural, natural, scenic, and recreational treasures of our region by visiting the Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area online at mississipphills.org.
This show is made possible by JC Media, LLC in Ripley, Mississippi. JC Media owns the Shark 102.3 Classic Rock FM radio station where the show is hosted, and Sun Bear Recording Studio where the interviews are recorded. We need your feedback and support. If you listen to the podcast on a player like iTunes, Google Podcast, or Amazon Music, please subscribe to the show and leave us a review. We also have an email in which you can share your feedback. That email is theshark1023@gmail.com. Subscribe to our podcast on your favorite app or stream episodes online at shark1023.com/podcasts. Today's episode was produced by Melinda Marsalis. It was edited by Rick Williams and engineered by Chris Marsalis. The podcast technician is Joyce Grady.